people are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Do not come. Do not come.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat, our Sunday night shit show. How are you, my friend?
Faking it till we make it. That's what we're doing today here.
Yeah. Act as if.
Thank you, alcohol. Appreciate you.
Cheers.
Inhume is my beer of choice today. It's delicious.
Yeah, tell me about it. What is it?
It's just a good beer. I don't know. First time I've had it by Ghost Town Brewing.
All right. I like it. I like it. Anything new to report from your world up in Sacramento? I
had a really busy week, suffering in addicts a lot and that kind of stuff.
That's rough.
One I can blame Tesla for because we installed a Starlink satellite system for somebody.
Oh my God.
That wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, how's your world? What's going on with you?
That just bums me out so much. Like for a while, I thought he was really just possibly going to crash and burn, but I guess that was all a fugazi or kayfabe. Or
government contracts locked in.
Yeah, that's
too big to fail now.
The sweet life. It's all good. I'm just going to keep smiling on the outside and hope it works its way in. No, it's all, we are luckier than most of the world. So I am thanking, counting my blessings as they happen. Very pleased to be here tonight with you and with all of our amazing heroes and sheroes. Thank you to all of our members. Love and adore you guys. Thank you for the retweets and the comments and all of it, the likes and
here.
All of those good things. Thank you. We truly are so appreciative.
And if you're going to leave a comment on the video tonight, which helps the algorithm, normally I would say please leave a Pat's Right message because that's very important to me that I out Pat's Right Lila.
Yeah.
But let's throw one at Ron Placone, our guest. Ron's always right too. So
he can be right every once in a while.
He can be right.
Yeah. I hope I'm not outnumbered today. All right. Well, speaking of, let us first just quick reminder, please smash that notification bell. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And now that we've gotten all the business out of the way, let's welcome our friend and yours, Ron Placone. Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up, Punch Up Pod? Good to be back. Love y'all. Happy to be here. Happy Sunday. Happy summer.
All of the good things.
I'm happy wife, happy life. You're gonna say that next?
Happy wife, happy life. That's right. That's what my hand towel says that I just put down. It's that's right. Which way to the beach? Huh?
Yeah, there you
that's
go.
That's on my tie. Yeah, right on. There we go. I'm trying to think of other cliches to just throw.
Josh and I were invited to Ron and his lovely wife's beautiful place, so close to the beach. He and Caitlin made the most amazing meal. We ate nonstop and drank and had such a good time. And we have to do it again up at our place. So thank you. I just realized I haven't seen you in person since then.
I know. Yeah. And then, I found out via podcast. This is like, the circles you run in. I found out via podcast that Josh does not like the beach. And I didn't know that. When we talked about it, so more insider baseball. I always invite Lila and Josh to our beach days.
He does.
And then they never come. And I always just assumed they got lives, they got kids, they got all that. And then I found out, Josh hates the beach. Was too polite to ever say anything.
Okay, wait a second. I love the beach. The last time you invited us was last year when my kids still had baseball every weekend. That was the excuse.
A couple weeks ago.
No.
Yes, it was.
You didn't invite me. You might have invited.
I most certainly did. Because you responded. Because you had to prep for this show.
Oh, well, okay. On a Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah, Josh hates the beach. But I love it. Definitely want to come. And yeah, that was pretty funny. Speaking of, just so everybody knows, Ron has a podcast called 1,000 with Ron Placone, where he goes on a quest to interview 1,000 different people who have inspired or piqued his interest in some way. I have now known Ron for, I don't know, 4 years, 3 years, have yet to be invited onto this
You're
podcast.
on the list.
Josh
You're on the
has
list.
already been a guest on your podcast. So whatever. Whatever.
Well, I have like certain themes. So if I'm on like a film director kick, I'm gonna ask more of those. You are both on the list. I promise. You will both
If
be.
you want like a lush from New York who's sad about everything, I could be one of those 1,000.
I love all those things.
If you're looking for low tier podcasters with cats, I am on the top of that list. I
mean, that's my favorite thing, really. So yeah,
we're your people.
Yeah, don't worry, you're both on the list. There's a long way to go before I reach that 1,000 number. So yeah.
All right. Well, you are the busiest working man in show business. Not only do you have your own podcast, you also continue to stand up. You also just wrote and produced a movie, Left at Wall, which is on Apple, Amazon, YouTube, and now Tubi as well. It's fantastic. Pat and I have cameos in it.
You guys are awesome in it. Yeah, your cameo is awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. But the movie is great. We talked about it when it first came out. We showed clips from it. It's fantastic. It's about, well, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's a comedy loosely inspired by the GameStop thing that happened. But we came before Dumb Money. I always point that out to people. We were first. They just had Sony money and we didn't, so they got done first. But we were first. So it satirizes the Wall Street machine through the story of two brothers. And the story is totally fictional, but it's a fun time. I play the main guy. Gareth Reynolds from The Dollop plays my brother. Eddie Pepitone's in it. Graham Elwood's in it. Lila and Pat are in it. So you'll see a lot of people you recognize. Sage Francis has an awesome cameo. And you can watch it on a bunch of different platforms. And if you're thinking, man, I don't want to pay for a rental, guess what? Tubi has it. So you got to put up with ads, but you get to watch it free. So wins all around. Left at Wall. Check it out. Their cameo's amazing. And yeah,
it's such a good little film. You have so many cameos, and it's, politically so relevant. It's fantastic. And I made a huge mistake, embarrassing enough, at your play, which Ron also just wrote. Did you direct it as well?
Yeah.
Directed, and starred in Termination Fee, which is part of the Hollywood Fringe Festival.
Yeah, we did the Hollywood Fringe. Thank you guys again for coming.
Yes, awesome we came, loved it. And afterwards, Graham was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Gareth, hey, because I've only met him. Yeah, I've met him once. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I knew I'm Lila. He didn't even recognize me anyway, but I was embarrassed. I confused their names. And so I had probably had too much to drink.
Right on. That's awesome. I didn't know you pregame before the play. That's good. That probably made it more entertaining.
It was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't hear about that though. You didn't tell me about that, and Graham didn't mention it either.
Yeah.
But, yeah. He didn't say like, "Hey, someone called me Gareth."
Yeah. So dumb. All right. Big Dumb Animal, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Late again. You had me at PLACONE. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Big Dumb Animal.
Thank you. All right. Should we just dive in? What do you want to do, Pat?
Yeah, I think we're just sort of running our show with Ron as a guest for like the first hour. It's kind of our shtick here. So should we do our cheers like we normally do?
Yes. If you weren't,
we always start with one thing to be happy about, just to get us off,
or at least to give a cheers, because I'm not sure that this is a totally happy vibe, of course, but it is a true testament to the power to, I don't know, make the best when at all possible. So this is music teacher Ahmed Mouin with a group of Palestinian children, and they are trying to drown out the sound of constant Israeli killer drones.
Hello everyone, how are you? I miss you a lot, really. Today there's a lot of drones.
I'm gonna sing a song today, LIBRAND. شيل شيل يا جمالي شيل يا حوطك بالله دم الشهيد معطر بالهيل ليل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويل من الله لا أسهر على نجوم الليل أنا ناديله شيل شيل يا جمالي شيل يا حوطك بالله دم الشهيد معطر بالهيل ليل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويل من الله لا أسهر على نجوم الليل أنا ناديله شيل شيل يا جمالي شيل يا حوطك بالله دم الشهيد معطر بالليل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويل من الله لا أسهر على نجوم الليل أنا ناديله شيل شيل يا جمالي شيل يا حوطك بالله دم الشهيد معطر بالليل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويل من الله لا أسهر على نجوم الليل أنا ناديله.
Well, cheers to trying to find any moment to, give a moment, a piece of joy to these children. I cannot even begin to fathom. But we see these testaments to perseverance every day, and it is truly inspiring. So
Yeah, it was amazing. Not trying to come across as a little culturally ignorant, but I think that's the first time I've ever heard like Palestinian music. That was a banger.
yeah.
I mean, hey, they crushed it. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. Last week we showed the Samir Project does such good work, and they were showing delivery of pens and papers and materials for school, which, in spite of Israel's, scholasticide and bombing every single university and school and everything, continues. Their lessons continue intense and colorful paper, and teachers who, are being devastated, but still show up and try to continue a tradition of the most literate society in the world, apparently. So yeah, it's just such a it's just a testament to the human spirit, which should not be tested this way. But yes.
Yeah, well, when you see stuff like this, I mean, Palestine, and then other examples around the world too, like what Iran has been through since the 50s, mostly because of us, just story after story of that, and it's just the most inspiring lessons on the human spirit that we shouldn't have to have. And then you're like, how can the same species that's capable of this powerful perseverance also be capable of such horrific evils that are causing that to be necessary? Like it's just, I don't know, the yin and yang, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. It's I remember.
So like we said, our positive cheers is still very fucking depressing. So that's where we're at, people. That's where we're at. We're just gonna spin the wheel and show cat videos today.
Yeah, that's what we should have one episode where that's all we do. All right, let's get into what's happening with the Democrats, because it's pretty disgusting, especially knowing that they, warned us against the rise of fascism, did nothing to stop it. And here it is. They've got the least popular president, I think, in the history. Like at this point in his presidency, he's even lower than he was at this point in his first regime, Trump is. And the only group that is less popular than Donald J. Trump is the Democratic Party. But they think that they have found their new messiah. And it comes in the form of Gavin Newsom. God help us all. As a fellow Californian, is there anything you'd like? So we've got California Democrats like Gavin Newsom over Kamala Harris, which is, a low bar indeed, actually, because I think she's like at 2% or something. But Any initial feelings that you'd like to share about our governor?
I like how we just went from beautiful, perfect pitch harmonies to the most tone deaf entity in the history of the planet, the Democratic Party.
Your skill with the language, I like it. That's good.
It's oh my god, yeah, like Gavin Newsom, so grossly unpopular, and yet this is their guy because he hired some intern to make slop generative AI and like goofy, derivative tweets or whatever. It's such an insanely low bar, and he will. I mean, his big thing is just like, okay, are you going to deliver on this redistricting thing? Because Texas just made their move.
Yep.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to deliver, or are you truly just all talk? Heaven forbid you actually like supported policies people want and won that way. But are you gonna make your play like you said you're going to, or are you just all? I mean, it's just anyone who doesn't see through a guy like that. It's just so freaking sad.
It is so sad. We've got here. I'm gonna put us over on the left here so we can show a couple. Of well, this is Representative Eric Swalwell. Just talked to some friends in Norway where the Nobel Prize is awarded. They're saying Nobel Newsom is all the buzz. Pack your bags, Gavin Newsom. You're going to Oslo.
I bet that's not true.
And then again, Gavin Newsom has achieved.
I can actually bet on that because I like to put all my money on the fact that he's not getting the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, it's either him or Trump,
Oh, I was saying I doubt anyone in Norway is talking.
Oh no, I'm joking. Yeah, I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
But like
I hardly.
Yeah.
First,
it's one of his friends he asked to say that.
Yeah.
It's someone who used to live in the United States that he knows.
I don't think Eric Swalwell has friends in the United States. To be honest.
All I remember about that guy is like when he farted on MSNBC and then said it was a mug.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? That's all I remember of him. Like Fartgate.
Yeah.
That's the only memorable thing he's ever done.
Yeah. Yeah, he's horrible. He's truly horrible. Yeah, bailing out PG&E after they pled guilty to murder. They never even had to, do their they barely had to pay a fine for the wildfire that they were responsible for.
And they keep increasing the rates they're allowed to charge people. They have to get legislative approval to increase the rates. And all these guys are just saying, yeah, let's do that.
And the same thing keeps happening in California. Like
every year.
Same thing.
Yeah. Nothing ever changes. And there's no way, like they raise your rates and then you call and they're like, oh, this is what it is now, or your usage is more. I just got a $2,000 bill for our water. I mean, it's just, and like, who do you call? What are they going to say? That's just the price of water now. Price of water.
Well, they defend not raising rates and like, well, they would just pass those on to the consumer if we find them. Well, maybe make that illegal.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Let's have some government intervention. Also, just, he's doing the whole Trump thing. This is all just a big troll, right? Like this is the level of his politics. The Patriot Shop is now open. Newsom was right about everything. He has another hat, real patriot, but that says MAGA, make America Gavin again. I mean, it's
oh my God,
just disgusting. But I think right now the Democratic Party keeps trying to rebrand itself, and they have settled on the fight. That's really what's most important. Just fighting. It doesn't matter what your politics are. It doesn't matter your ideology. They are hoping that is enough, that it's like the, dank memes, the dark woke, whatever the hell, the trolling of Trump. And I think, well, first of all, the consultant class, they don't give a shit if the Democrats win or lose because they get paid no matter what. But I don't know how much this is actually convincing normie voters. What do you think?
Wow. You don't think they're swayed by Dark Gavin? You don't think the people in the Midwest who grocery prices are going up so high and they're debating between that and rent and coffee is twice as much as it ever has been. They're not like, oh man, this generative AI thing trolling Trump. I am so sold. The opposition is there. We are so in. Gavin Newsom
What about
is a failed. He's a failed
what
actor,
about his,
and it's so
his
obvious.
slicked back Wall Street look? That plays well, right?
It's so relatable.
It's like
Right.
Temu Gordon Gecko.
So
I think-
so much of this country, like the whole thing with the Democrats is that, and this is by their own doing, they come across as just elitist and out of touch with regular people. So they lost the working class because of that. And so they find the guy who is like the perfect embodiment of that, even down to the Bruce Wayne hairstyle and suit. And they're like, yep, this is our guy, the wannabe Hollywood mogul. This is the guy. This is how we're going to get working class people back. Like, it's unreal.
It's really.
And his first move is to have a podcast with Charlie Kirk on, where he normalizes Charlie Kirk.
And just sits there and agrees with him.
Yeah, where he like sucks him
Right.
off the whole time how great he is, and how Dems really lost it for being too woke, and they're a crap party. Which he's right, but it's not because they're too woke. Yeah, and as soon as his candidacy gears up for real, all of his vetoing of pro-union bills is going to come out. His killing single-payer health care, his assault on the homeless.
sweeping.
Yeah,
Yeah, where he literally does it on camera. It's-
proudly, like Trump. Yeah, I
He's
mean-
one of those people. It's like you give people a Republican or a Republican, they're just going to pick the Republican.
yep,
So
absolutely.
it's like he is the most ridiculous. I mean, and I will say this, like kind of in theme with all this, I am taking a little bit of hope in the fact that amidst the people, there are, people who I have seen just in my life who, they're not quite where I'm at politically, but they're like left of liberal, and they're starting to say things, that we've all been saying for 8 years, but that people were not ready to hear 8 years ago.
Right.
They're starting to be like,
Right.
this centrist BS isn't cutting it.
Yeah.
So like regular people, who make up the electorate, not because they're some proud Democrats, but because we live in a system where it's like, well, there's Democrats or Republicans. Who do you like, what do you fricking do?
Right.
And like, they're starting to see through it, and they're
Yeah.
starting to say, this isn't cutting it. We need a real opposition to this. And then the establishment is still like, this is our guy. We're going to give you didn't like Buttigieg. That didn't inspire you. The guy was like, hey, is genocide wrong? And he wrote a freaking essay instead of saying
But-
no.
Again, Ron, Buttigieg with the beard has a shot. I mean, this changes the game. This is a game changer right here.
Yeah, lots of word salads happening. So yeah, and we see what they do when they have somebody who actually talks policy and is wildly popular, like Zoran Mamdani in New York. They first of all smear him with libelous claims that he is an anti-Semite, and then talk about his apartment and don't come out to endorse him. So
Yeah, the Big
And
Ten
then they
doesn't
do everything
include the
they
popular
can.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they got room for Chris Christie in the Big Tent. They don't have room for anything remotely progressive. I mean, let alone like, leftist or socialist,
Yeah.
like even just left of liberal. They don't have any time for it. And they're throwing everything they can to beat that guy. And it's like the hypocrisy is so blatant because all the frickin' time they tell, and I've even had this discussion with some of my more like kind of left of liberal friends who are just like, well, leftists got to concede a little bit. And it's like, well, what are you talking about? We've been conceding forever.
Yeah.
Forever. We're the ones. We're always told to shut up and get in line for your unpopular candidates. And then when the shoe's on the other foot, you F us over. You
Yeah.
did it to India Walton in Boston, or
right.
excuse me, Buffalo. You're
Yep.
doing it to Mamdani now. So it's like we're expected to like walk hook, line, and sinker with you, but that's never reciprocated the other way around. How many kicks in the teeth are we supposed to take? It's bullshit.
yeah,
So
And
it's like,
yeah.
how do you not see the hypocrisy on your side of the fucking street?
it's that whole oh, you're going to take your ball and go home, put on your big boy pants, but it's it was always a lie. Just like the Bernie bro thing was a lie. And then the
Yep.
second Kamala became Biden's, running mate, he wanted to welcome the K-Hive in, who were truly a vile bunch of people. Yeah, it's always been,
At least they were getting paid.
yeah, oh, God.
But it's gotten so bad. I was watching CNN before the show, and Well, that's bad enough.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sorry. I apologize to everybody, but
Drink
I'm proud of
harder.
you, buddy.
but I also watch OAN a lot because that's how much I hate my fucking
my
life these
God.
days. But it's like I hate watch it, you know. It's
Yeah.
like I get some joy out of hate watching it. But
There are some
but
times
on,
when I see your social media feed and I'm like, Pat's on the internet too much. He's gotta not do that.
right. This is true. But CNN was even reporting they had their big wall up with all the numbers and the data and the polling. Republicans are massively out registering Democrats in all the swing states, like massively. Like,
I mean,
it's
we
not
showed
even
that.
close.
You were there, right, Pat? You were there on our show on Wednesday where we showed all the different graphs.
Yeah, but this is today's graphs. I'm real time CNN. I'm not like looking at some stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, it's bad. They are actually out registering new voters, new party adherents. The Republicans are. But so we've got the whole thing happening with Zora Mamdani. Then there was, and they tried to, take over, co-opt his strategy, which they decided was just that he does these cool videos. And so there was one guy, I can't remember his name now. We showed his video, but he was clearly like an abundant, corporate DNC guy. I think he was being funded by Reid Hoffman, but he did the same thing. His video in New York, he's, trying to get in some seat of Congress. Haven't heard from that kid again in several weeks. So clearly it's not working. And then as a counter, we showed Omar Fattah in Minneapolis, who was primarying Jacob Fry and does not have a ton of charisma, but is a democratic socialist. And in his video, which was lovely, his campaign ad, it was just like kitchen table issues. And, he is a democratic socialist, left-wing issues, but that are very popular. He won the Democratic nomination. He got the nomination of the DFL, which is the Democratic, Farmer and Laborers, I think.
Well, there's some news on that today.
And then, they just rescinded it. They're big. We both pressed at the same time. Sources say DFL to revoke Omar Fattah's endorsement for Minneapolis mayor. And we have a video of a lady saying she's got checks in her hand, ready to go out to the DFL, but the donors do not want those checks cashed if they remain with their endorsement for Fattah. Like, it is it's truly just bribing them and refusing.
Yeah, and it worked. It's not breaking news anymore. I mean, it's not potential. They pulled the endorsement.
Yeah.
It's done.
Oh,
Done.
That's so terrible.
And then, I don't know if you guys, I still get all of the, text messages from every Act Blue account, right? So this comes into me and I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Jordan is tied with Susan Collins. I've never gotten anything from Jordan before, whoever this is. Help Jordan win. I click on it. It's Jordan Wood, I think is his last name. I don't even know. Still doesn't even mention his last name here. There's no policies on his policy page. It's just pay me to beat Susan Collins. It's
me, Jordan, in Maine.
Craziest thing.
He sounds it sounds like someone that just calls into an AM radio show way too much. They're like, we got Jordan in Maine again. He was here last hour.
I got an idea.
Long-time listener.
Make America Jordan again.
Maja, there you
go.
Maja.
But interesting, right away, I got another text from, and I don't know if you know this guy, Graham Plattner, Ron.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. Graham's great, dude. Graham from New Hampshire. No, I'm making that up. I don't know who the fuck he is. Who's
he's
Graham?
great. So
he actually appears great.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, he is a veteran of, like, I think he was in military service for about 10 years. But this is what he writes. This is like 2 minutes after that Jordan one. Nothing pisses me off more than getting a fundraising text from Democrats talking about how they're fighting fascism because it's such BS. We're not idiots. Everyone knows most of them aren't doing jack right now to fight back. People are being kidnapped into unmarked vans by mass police. There's a genocide happening in Palestine. Literal billionaires have taken over our government, and all Democratic leadership can do is send us another fundraising text. My name's Graham Plattner, and I'm the oyster farmer, Marine Corps veteran, and Democrat running for U.S. Senate against Susan Collins here in Maine. I'm not going to speak in platitudes or shy away from what I believe. There's a war going on in this country, and the oligarchy and the fascists are winning right now. Susan Collins is the most vulnerable Republican senator in the country. We have an opportunity to replace her with a working class Democrat, one who won't take money from corporations or AIPAC. But I'm not a wealthy guy, and we're still short, whatever. But like,
He's beating out Jordan from Maine so far. Yeah, I'm gonna say that was a little more. That's like
Graham from Maine. Get that Graham.
Hey,
Graham also from Maine. It's like somebody read the book, somebody else didn't. They both turned in a report though.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if he was a Dem, they'd be saying he's second on the presidential list above Kamala.
Weren't they both Dems?
Who, Jordan?
Graham and Jordan.
No, I mean, yeah.
You're saying Jordan would be like Jordan. Yeah. Yes, they're both from Maine. They're both trying to unseat Susan Collins. One of them is posing in front of his Act Blue donation, buttons, and the other one is telling you what he believes in. And he has a really, good campaign ad also. But it's just amazing to me that Jordan guy would even show up. I think he actually was
Jordan mystery name.
Yeah. Right. Like,
because he's hiding out from the law. He can't have a last name.
I think he worked with, it might've been like chief of staff or something for Katie Porter at one point.
Well, hey, if you're up in Maine, I'd take your chances on the dude with the last name. He seems to be, I like what he had to say compared to Jordan hiding out from the IRS. Apparently, I don't know what his deal is. We don't know what Jordan's deal is.
It's not all that impressive if we don't even know your name or a single thing that you're standing for.
I think his last name is Jordan Wine Cave, I think.
Yeah, he feels like a Mayor Pete guy, right? Totally.
Yeah, he does.
All right, we have another person who I also think has, it's going to be interesting to see how he is treated in Michigan. Because I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks ago, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Mayor Pete was on one of the Sunday shows, asked about the popularity of Zoran Mamdani. And he was like, well, what wins in, that East Coast, New York City can't happen in Michigan. But here we have Abdul El Sayed talking in Michigan. So apparently he didn't get the memo from Mayor Pete.
We have a pretty big problem with billionaires, right? Elon Musk, if you were to take $10,000 a day since the day the pyramids of Giza were built, you still would not have as much money as Elon Musk. Yeah. One person has that much money. And so when people are like, how are we going to afford X, Y, and Z? What will you tell them? How will you end billionaires? And how can we start prioritizing things like our teachers, our public transit, etc.? Thank you.
Three words: tax the rich. And what I mean by that, to get technical, is I think we need to be taxing wealth, right? In this country, the idea is that we tax income, which means that people actually have to go to work every day, whether you're a teacher or a doctor, right? We tax your income. And then for people who've accumulated so much wealth that your money makes money, at some point we're like, well, we can't possibly tax them. If I told you how much wealth is held by the 300,000 most wealthy Americans in this country, it would blow your mind. Like hundreds of trillions. So if we put a tax on wealth, it would return a lot of that money back into public use. And guess what? Those people would still be wealthy. I mean, like, think about how many, I want you guys to think about this. Do you know how many millionaires you can make for one billionaire? 1,000. You can make 1,000 millionaires. So a lot of folks are like, well, Abdul, you just don't want people to be rich. No, I don't begrudge anyone their millions. But I do begrudge everyone their billions. Because here's the thing about it. After a certain amount of money, there is nothing on earth you can't buy except, right? What does $1 billion get you? that 100 million can't? It's the domination of other people. And I don't think that should be for sale.
Yeah, it
Name
gets
your
you the
enemies,
Democratic
right?
Party. You can buy your politicians.
Yep.
What a ridiculous statement by Pete, by the way. Like, oh, it won't work in Michigan. Oh yeah, are we forgetting that Rashida Tlaib won by like 70-some%? Like
Exactly.
in Detroit, probably the most, like maybe the most pro-union city in the country. Like all right,
Yeah.
you know.
They're just
Yeah,
always
well-
trying to figure out ways to please their donors, but to rebrand Democrats in order to please their donors. Always. Sorry.
But
fact
that's
check.
where if there was a hint of journalism with any of these people that interview these guys, you push back on that point. You say, well, that factually that's incorrect. What about Rashida Tlaib? But they obviously never do that. That's by design.
Thank you, Kitty. I appreciate that.
There you go. We were looking for
It is always right as well.
Ron's right. Yeah. So the newest sort of, there's abundance, which it is truly shocking to me how quickly that came out and was just embraced by everybody. I mean, it was just so nakedly a rebranding of austerity politics and liberalism, right? And now there's this new, we should have pulled the video. We didn't, but it really would make you vomit in your mouth anyway. But there is this new announcement of this new media outlet. It's called The Argument. They're saying they're libbing out. Here are some of the people. So,
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just that first name. Fuck
Right?
me.
Yeah.
No.
But let me just go back for a
I'm
second.
sorry, but I love that phrase libbing out, and they embrace that. Like we're living
Oh
out.
my
We're
God.
outliving.
Yeah. I'm gonna find the video right after we do this in a second. The left gets a new publication. They're libbing out. Yes, and exactly as you said, Matt Iglesias.
Yeah.
The abundance
That
co-author,
that guy is like if a sitting on pies fetish was a person. Like that guy is just a freaking like he literally just has the absolute worst takes, and he's doing it just because I think he just likes being humiliated. Like I don't know why. Like he has to. Like there's no way somebody is that dim. Like he's not like he's like he has to just be doing it because he's just like yell at me while he's sitting on pies in some weird dungeon. And I'm not here to kink shame, but when you're bringing down just the thought quality of a country, that's when I have a problem.
Yeah.
Like just do it on OnlyFans or something and leave the country alone. Like I'm not kink shaming you. Just like find another outlet instead of dumbing down thought leadership in this country even further. It's already at the bottom of a real shit-stained barrel, and you're just bringing it down further with your half-baked pseudo right wing. It's not even like liberal at this point. It's like straight up just like old school, like dimmer than classical conservative nonsense that he just spews.
Yeah, it is really a sickness, and they're wrong, and they know that they're wrong. They know, and that's why they're working so hard to combat the fact that most people in this country, actually across the political spectrum, as we say all the time, actually really are desperate for and want left policies. They really do. Like we know this. So here is, and by the way, so this is her name is Jerusalem Demsis, is the head of this publication. They raised around, this is so funny. The Argument raised around, this is the name of the media outlet, The Argument, raised around $4 million at a $20 million valuation. Okay, so they got their $4 million. Their first big article, giving people money helped less than I thought it would.
Oh my God.
So they do this whole article on what happens when you give poor people money. Of course, they give them between $300 and $1,000 a month. So even if you top it, even if everybody got the $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 for the year. Of course, that's not changing anyone's life. That's below the poverty level, right?
Oh, Andrew Yang would like a word with you, but continue.
Right? So
1K, bro.
And so they started off, because this is the way they always do, is that I thought that it was going to work, and I thought giving people money, and that's what we always hear, but it turns out that materialism is, an incorrect ideology, and it won't really help. The cash transfers did not improve maternal health outcomes or child health outcomes. They had no effect on stress, depression, body mass index, how often children got sick, or the children's overall health. They did not improve mother self-reported relationship quality or measures of psychological distress. The money did not make a difference, says UC Irvine economist Greg Duncan. It's shocking to me that $300 a month didn't change maternal, pregnancy outcomes. Like, what in almighty God are you talking about? Of course it didn't. Did you change the whole healthcare system? Like, does she have free healthcare at the point of service? Prenatal care? Is our food no longer poisoned, and our water doesn't have lead in it, and we're not putting pollutants in the air? Like, the $300 a month didn't change the world. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Shocking. So this is the argument.
If you can't afford rent or groceries and you get a little bit and still can't afford either, it didn't make a big difference. How shocking. So basically this outlet just exists for people who actually really like the system, but they realize how gross Republicans are. This is sort of a way for them to not feel bad about themselves.
For voting,
that's basically
right.
That's basically what this is. This is sort of like an American liberal apology rag.
Exactly.
It's like, if you want to feel better, which they already have, MSNBC, CNN, still not enough. They need this other thing. They need another thing to not feel bad about themselves, because they're like, yeah, we know that this is morally wrong, but we're benefiting from it, so we don't want any actual change. We just want not as much mean sounding stuff, and then things will be fine. And it's like, no, not really.
Well,
and I think you know that, but
I think the whole point of the outlet is to counter our arguments, right?
Right.
So we're at a dinner party with some Democrats, and the guy who read that article is going to chime off on the data. He knows the data. Oh, did you read that big article? It proved that giving people money is not the way to fix things. You got to teach them how to fish instead of giving them fish.
And I saw this statistic from an economist who works for the Heritage Foundation and voted for Trump 17 times. And guess what? Turns out it didn't help. We sent people $5 bills right through the mail. Didn't make a difference.
It's really, it is a different kind of deplorable, but to run interference for all of the shortcomings of what Democrats have done as the party of opposition over the last 40 years is a special kind of, clown show. It's so deceptive, and it's it's repugnant. It really is. Like, you're a Republican. And I think that's the thing also, is like, liberals, Democrats, whatever, they are, in the end, they're capitalists, and capitalism is a right-wing ideology. So that is why their tent is never big enough for the left, but it's always big enough for Liz Cheney, because in the end, that's much more their mindset.
Yeah, I think you're at the point where, look, they went all in on this abundance theory. It was on the airwaves left and right. The book tour, the book flopped, by the way, absolute flop. These guys are floundering hard. But they're just grabbing on some argument. And the reason their poll numbers in the shitter is everybody sees that they're looking for any argument other than helping people.
Yeah, it is like, we've been trying the same thing for 40 years. And they're like, we just got to try harder this time. It's like, hey, being Reagan light hasn't worked for 40 plus years. It's like, the experiment really started in 1980. That was fuck around. This is find out. Come on, this is find out. What is it? Pretty much 60% and growing of Americans can't even afford a basic quality of life, just a basic quality of life of just having enough money in the bank to get as much food as you need, to have a roof over your head. I would argue that you can make the argument that most Americans aren't even really living. They're surviving. And there's a huge freaking difference. Yeah. And the amount of wealth in this country, everybody deserves to live, to have a quality of life, to have enough money that your basic needs are met, and that you get a quality education for your children. They have quality opportunities, and you get to go on a reasonable vacation every year. That's not, I mean, that is just a life that was very attainable in this country when we actually had working class protections. Very attainable on one income, mind you. And it could easily be that way again. They just choose not to, because they sold people this snake oil of just rugged neoliberalism. And now it's been brought to its knees. And they're still, even when we are amidst the most barbaric of fascist coups, they're still trying more of the same. Somebody put this on Blue Sky. I feel bad I can't give credit, but it went pretty viral. They said, look, it's basically the two-party system is this. One party is Nazis. The other party is, hey, we can make a lot of money because a lot of people are opposed to these Nazis. That's it. That's how the two-party system works.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah. Serving
that's why they
all
want things to get
good.
That's why they want things to get as bad as possible over these 2 years, so that they can do nothing to pretend to even represent us anymore. Like, you got the Nazis over there. Like, they want max Nazism for the next 2 years.
Thanks, Jenna, Kitty, Holly.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of support here. A lot of support. Oh, Jenna, thanks. I'm gonna thank you. I don't even know what that's about, but I'm gonna take it.
Jenna, you're sus.
And shout out to Pittsburgh Normal, by the way. That's my hometown. I'm friends with a lot of the Pittsburgh Normal folks. So
I forgot you're from Pittsburgh. You know, we had on oh my God, Steven Semler on last Sunday, who's awesome, but he's also from Pittsburgh. And when I said something like, "Oh, it's on Zora Mandani, right near where you are," he's like, Pittsburgh is not near to you. Yeah. But I mean, I just meant like on the East Coast.
It's closer than LA. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's way closer.
Well, that's why I also, you know, this framing that I'm kind of surprised still happens among some people on the left, like truly who I would consider pretty much like the left, like, you know, Nathan Robinson, right? Like, are Democrats ever going to learn? Like, yeah, what do you mean? They're not. They know there's no lesson. Yeah. Like, they know the lesson is I get tons of money from my donors. That's all they care about. They know what's popular. They know it. They see those numbers way more than we do, which is why they keep coming up with all these different ways to try to create a narrative of how abundance is the best, you know, ideology to counter Trumpism, or the argument, or, you know, I mean, it's just, they know that's not the problem isn't convincing them or learning a lesson. They don't care if they lose.
Well, the thing that they always can deflect to is just like, well, we got to fight fire with fire. So we need this corporate money. Otherwise we can't compete, and we can't compete unless we, you know, like have this right-wing light ideology. And it's absolute nonsense, because guess who proved that wrong? Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders proved that wrong. And we're seeing that. I mean, and it's proven wrong on micro scales all over the freaking place.
Yep.
And then so they try to crush the progressives, because when one gets through, that just sort of disproves their theory. So they can't have that. That's why they campaign hard against progressives every opportunity they freaking can.
Yep. Which is why they're doing what they're doing to Omar Atta, what they're doing to Zora Mandani, what they did to India Walton. I mean, they do not like democracy. They do not want the left to win.
Nope. That disrupts their apple cart.
Pat, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you just as we start talking.
Oh, I lost my thought. It's all right. No worries.
Sorry. Do you want to watch just like a second of this video? It's kind of long, but just so you get a glimpse of what they're trying to sell, it just is sickening to me. But
liberals used to stand for things. But now it seems like all we do is stand against them.
President Biden has said he's not sure he'd run for president if Donald Trump wasn't running too.
I want to do something different. My name's Jerusalem Demsis. I'm an opinion journalist. I'm launching a new media company called The Argument. We're not just gonna explain, we're gonna persuade. We're not just gonna diagnose the problem, we're gonna fight for the solutions. But let's rewind. In 1955, the conservative public intellectual William F. Buckley said that conservatism stands athwart history, yelling stop. But when I look around at the political landscape today, it's not conservatives I mainly see yelling stop. It's liberals.
Pushback against offshore wind projects.
We want to stop it.
A majority of residents in the Hacienda Heights community say they...
Okay, what? So they're not, like, does anybody have anything to say? It makes me so mad. What Democrats are fighting against offshore wind projects. This is the abundant stuff. Like, it's too many regulations, and you can either live under a bridge or you can live beside the bridge. Either way, you have poison air, but those are your choices. And
this is half-baked neoliberalism. And also, side note, for the start of that video, if you think that the New Deal was the result of liberals, you desperately need a history lesson. You desperately need a history lesson. The New Deal was because a bunch of socialists, anarchists, yes, anarchists, and labor unions, they were all united, and they had pitchforks, and they were really pissed off, and FDR and his rich friends were scared shitless. That's why the New Deal happened. Yeah. Okay, so if you really give liberals credit for being in the corner scared shitless, okay, but saying, oh, liberals are the reason it happened, no, you desperately need a history lesson. Desperately. Yeah. Sorry.
Truly. It's ridiculous. They want to take credit for everything. They want to take credit for the civil rights movement. They want to take credit for labor rights. They want to take credit for the Great Society. None of that was liberals. They
stood in the way of all of it.
Always.
They were like, I mean, hear what Malcolm X had to say about it. If you're not sure, listen to what Malcolm X had to say about it.
And Martin Luther King Jr.
Yep.
Oh, they make me nauseous. Truly. All right, Pat, do you have any other Dem stuff you want to talk about? We do have the Wesley Bell town hall. The person that they put tons of money in to unseat Cory Bush, and he has a town hall. You go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just got to say, I love every single town hall, whether it's a Democrat or Republican. They get run out of the place. Every fucking politician on earth now gets run out of their town halls.
Yeah.
Which needs,
like, if we need some footage, we just need to look every week for who had a town hall.
Yeah. It's pretty insane. And, that's another thing, Matt Iglesias, he just cannot wrap his mind around, why does anybody care about the, he doesn't call it genocide, but what's happening in Gaza? Oh, it's just, young political people who are using it as a wedge issue or using it to gain some footing. But apart from Palestinians, why would anybody care? And it's like, that mindset is really illustrative of his deep-rooted problem.
Sociopathy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, why would you say something like that unless you're just looking for, like, you just want to piss people off?
Yeah.
Like you
even
don't
if you frame it, even if you frame it as politically, and if you have no empathy, I think what Palestine shows people is how little power we have with the party to change their opinion of what they do. So that's the glaring thing about Palestine, that even a guy like him, who's obtuse on purpose, is missing, is that, dude, it just shows our lack of power within the system.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we know that 92% of Democrats do not want us funding or arming this war, this genocide. It doesn't matter, because we have it's not a democracy. We have no effect on the people who are supposed to be representing us. So yeah, it's and so all of these people, like the Matt Iglesiases and the Jerusalem Demsis or whatever, their whole job is to give cover to their right-wing donors, which it doesn't matter if you are a Democrat or a Republican. You're a capitalist who supports a genocide, and that's right wing. Should we show just a little flavor of that town hall? The crazy thing is, he leaves. Wesley Bell leaves He says, I have to go talk to some people. I'll be right back. And then the thugs come in. It's the craziest thing. All right. So this is Wesley Bell, St. Louis.
Let's roll. I'm going.
Protect and to serve crowd is really doing heroic work there, huh?
This is what
Glad I
martial law
wasn't
looks
there.
like. Yeah,
I
I mean,
would be in jail. I would be in jail for years probably if I was there, because I'm not going to let some guy 3 times the size of some frail woman grab her by the neck and smash her against a wall.
For protesting
What the hell?
at a town hall, which is her only chance to register her disappointment or disagreement with her representative. And this is how they're treated.
It's nuts. And you know what? People asking, who do you serve? Just so everyone's aware, we got our answer.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend. I mean, look, I'm in Los Angeles. Lila, so are you. We saw it. We saw it. You know, we were invaded. That's what happened. We were invaded by ICE.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing in DC. They're going to do the same thing everywhere else. And let me tell you something. The cops and ICE stood shoulder to shoulder, side by side. All of the authoritarians, they are on the same team. And I know, because I know some like hyper online, quote unquote, leftists try to make it out like it's otherwise. Yeah. It's not. And to pretend otherwise is just being dishonest. You know, right now we are pretty much under a form of martial law to an extent. I mean, not on a massive countrywide level, not yet at least, but that's what's happening on micro levels regularly. And guess what? The cops, the military, ICE, all the right-wing militias, all the hate groups, they are all on the same team. Yep. They're all on the same side. They are all standing side by side at the end of the day. And on the other side of that fence is Antifa and the poor, the disabled, labor, leftists, working class people, everybody else, basically. Yep. And when it comes to military might, we are grossly outnumbered. That is just the reality. Like, that is the reality. Yeah. And to make it out like, oh, no, like the cops will put their weapons down and stand beside. No, they won't.
No, they cleared the way for ICE and the Proud Boys. 100%. We just saw, I mean, you know, we want to have Tina on sometime soon, but I know she's working on something.
Yeah, she just got,
like every week, you know, she'll text me and she'll be like, girl, look what happened to my finger. Oh, I got my lights popped out by this cop. Oh, this Proud Boy did this. Like, oh, I was hit with a less lethal. I'm in the emergency room with my friend who has to have an operation, another journalist operation on his leg. Another thing, by the way, Gavin Newsom vetoed was a bill that was passed that was written to protect journalists who were covering protests. This was right after the summer of 2020 of the George Floyd protests, and he vetoed that. Anyway,
Yeah, and
yeah.
look, I think the point is with all this going on, I mean, just as we frame it around the political, the horse race, it's the biggest layup on earth to be against everything that's happening right now. And the Democrats are barely against what's happening now everywhere.
Yeah,
you just got to be against what they're doing, even if you don't even have a good solution. But they're not even fighting ICE. If California can't put up a good fight against ICE, where we are the 4th biggest economy in the fucking world, and we can't do it here with our alleged hero Gavin Newsom,
Nobel Peace Prize winning.
Right.
Gavin Newsom could be such a leader right now.
Yep.
That is about and the fact that he's doing what he's doing, he could be such a leader. He could, in a real meaningful way, go up against Trump, not in these bullshit tweets and in bullshit like generative AI means. And I'm not saying don't creatively troll. There's a way to creatively do it and be funny, and that can be effective. But you know what? Have something behind it if you want to be a politician. He could. Look. 75% of all produce, California's behind it domestically. He could say, hey, guess what? We're going to shut it down if you don't stop this, if you don't get out of our state. There's so many things he could do to really play hardball. And there's so many things. Now it is such a time to be like, okay, all of these bullshit talking points around immigration, are you guys ready to get over them yet? Because guess what? Are wages going up? ICE is everywhere. People are being kidnapped day and night. They're being sent to countries they haven't even been to in some cases. You're getting the mass deportations you asked for. Are wages up? Oh, no, wages aren't up. Are there more jobs? No, there's less. So all of these talking points are bullshit. What is happening? Well, your neighbors are terrified. That's happening. You like that? That's the world you want to live in? Fields and fields of harvest are rotting. They're freaking rotting in a state that is responsible for 75% of the nation's produce, that is prone to fires all the time. Harvest is rotting. You want that so grocery prices can go up even higher? Are you ready to acknowledge that all the bullshit that's been shoved down your throat on immigration since the Bush administration is exactly that? Freaking bullshit. That is the message that I think people are ready to hear. And that's something someone like Gavin Newsom could lead on, but that would actually take courage. It would actually take integrity, and it would actually take a brain that isn't seeped in freaking hair gel or whatever else he puts in there. And it would take something more than a failed actor. It would take an actual leader. So it's a damn shame.
He would have to fight against the people who give him his millions of dollars, who bankroll him, which is why he'll never do it.
That's the real reason, because you could copy and paste what you just said right there, and anyone who said that would win, even if they didn't believe it.
Yep.
Well, they got to pay me something, but I appreciate
even
it.
Even as a fake message, they can't even make the fake message because that would harm their donors' credibility. It'd be like, well, maybe we should do something about it because even Newsom is saying it. So he's not allowed to even say that shit.
I mean, look what they did to Black Lives Matter, what they did to, some kind of compassionate journey for dreamers and immigrants coming here. Those were popular policies. Forget single payer, but that was the 2019 primary in 2020, the pretend left, but Democrats were talking about that. There's been no talk about it since 2020. And instead, Biden and Kamala successfully managed to persuade, because yes, politics is persuasion, persuade Democratic voters that immigration was a real issue, which it is, but that immigrants are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so they proposed their border bill that was even more far right than anything that Republicans at the time had proposed, and then made fun of them for not voting for it.
Yeah. I think since we hit Newsom, I just want to flash the Newsom slides up real quick, just to give you a brief. Here's this dude.
Here, moving us over here.
Here's this dude.
Yeah.
Meeting with Israel.
Single payer healthcare.
Yeah.
Even though he ran on it, and then he writes this thing a year later, just signed our budget. Ready for this, Mayor Pete? California will now be the first state in the nation to achieve universal access to healthcare coverage.
Oh, access. There's that keyword.
Love it.
Access. This is his magical moment that made him president.
Clears the LA homeless encampment with such joy, throwing away their whole lives.
Vetoes the Social Housing Act. Vetoes a bill that would have paid severance for grocery workers.
This was right after the strikes ended, after the WGA and SAG strike ended. He vetoed 3 different labor bills. One of them was allowing self-driving buses, right? So there go the bus drivers' jobs, and vetoing a bill to allow striking workers to get unemployment.
Yeah, and he didn't show up for SAG-AFTRA. He didn't show up for the WGA. He didn't show up for the hotel workers. Instead, he targeted trans people. I mean, it's unbelievable, like how that guy, and he's basically using the state as a marketing campaign to run for president, and he's been doing that for years now, and he continues to do it. All while just leaving California out to dry.
The list of things that he vetoed it was just amazing. And he did them all within 2 weeks. At the end, there's a period where they do it all and they just drop it. And it's like, how can you pretend you're a leftist with all the shit he vetoed? He vetoed every leftist policy and signed every fucking shit bill that was bad for workers.
He's horrible. What do you think? I see Holly's writing about Butch Ware. What are you feeling? Do you have any feelings about him
for governor?
Yeah.
I mean,
wait, is he running for governor or senator? Governor. Yeah, he's running for governor. Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably vote for him.
Yeah.
I don't know of any better choices that are out there. I don't know who else is running.
Yeah. Well, not Kamala anymore.
Yeah, fortunately.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
We'll see. Maybe Katie Porter. We'll see. All right, Ron, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you? We touched on some of it at the beginning, but we've kept you way over. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Thanks for having me, and I hope I can come back again soon because we didn't get to talk about RFK, and I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts when a eugenicist is in charge of public health with no qualifications whatsoever. And yes, that guy's a eugenicist, and if you're not hip to, I don't, with your guys' crowd, I'm probably really preaching to the choir. But man, we gotta vent about it, and we gotta try to win over more people on this because it's so obvious. Here's the deal. I think part of the reason, honestly, and I'm not part of the reason he gets away with his fucking ridiculous ideas is because every time he talks, he sounds like he's trying to blow a driveway. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's like when you're only hearing every third word that he says, you don't realize how fucked up it is. You don't realize how fucked up his ideas are. I'm not even kidding. I really do think that that's the case. I mean, look here, I'll demonstrate it right now. I think we should have a superior race. Oh my God, that's fucked up. That's a really fucked up thing to say. Whoever said that, that's fucked up. All right. Example 2. I think we should have a superior race. What did that guy say? What's wrong with him? I think he said we need some water up in this place. He needs a drink. Like you could seriously, he says fucked up eugenic shit. And I think people don't even realize that that's what he's saying. And he has no qualifications whatsoever. If you are born on third base about to go home, you can get a fucking law degree. All right. I have met some of the most underwhelming people I've ever met in my life in graduate school. You can get a law degree if you have every advantage in the world and an unlimited supply of money. And you can actually use that law degree for a little bit of good at some point because, yeah, you went up against some terrible companies, but you had the same amount of fucking resources that they did. It's cool that you did that. And what really sucks is that you dedicated the rest of your professional life to pushing a bunch of pseudoscience bullshit because you are that dim that you allowed them to capture your worm-ridden frickin' brain. And it is so dangerous what that guy is doing. He has already sent us back generations, and it's only been a few months. It will take generations to undo the damage that guy has had. And the fact that so many of my colleagues in comedy helped make that fucking guy a reality, I will never forgive. I will never forget. I think daily about my niece and nephew who are 1 and 2 years old, knowing that a eugenicist is in charge of public health, a fucking eugenicist. And man, you want to talk about, it's amazing living in a country where being against a genocide instead of just being making you a decent human being, that could somehow be construed as anti-Semitism in the United States. Yet you want real anti-Semitism. Listen to that guy's bullshit conspiracies about Jews and COVID.
Yeah.
You want real anti-Semitism. Listen to that shit. And he doesn't even know that's what he's parroting. I don't even think he's realizing the dog whistle he's throwing out there. You want real anti-Semitism. Listen to that.
Yeah.
And as a guy with Jewish family, that's fucking terrifying to me. That's normalized.
At least,
but
what do you
being
say?
against a genocide isn't. It's
at least
nuts.
Anne Frank could hide in an attic, but if you don't get the COVID vaccine, then you can't even cross a border, was what he said. Something like that, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but he doesn't exist without the left fucking embracing him.
Yep.
Some of the left, you know,
peace candidate.
his bullshit got normalized because people bought his bullshit. They bought
They
the
bought it on
corporate
COVID,
COVID
yep.
narrative.
And
that-
the border. He said he wanted to model our border on the border between Gaza and Israel.
Yeah. Well, and he
Yeah,
said the other big thing was he said that COVID was designed to not impact I think I forget which guy. Yeah,
Ashkenazi Jews.
Ashkenazi Jews.
Yep.
I mean, it's like he just repeated that totally uncritically. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he is out of his freaking mind.
Yep.
And yeah. Well, all right. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack everything.
No,
Like,
we all
I wanted
agree.
I wanted to talk about it for a little bit, so let's just do it now. I still want to come back soon.
All you have to know, all you have to do is see a guy wearing jeans working out. Like that is clearly not a sane behavior. That
we showed
things
his
are not ticking right. They're
for
not
it,
ticking
too,
right.
which is even worse. His explanation was he's always going places, and if he just wants to stop at the gym on his way to work. So basically what he's saying is, like, he goes to the gym, gets disgusting, sweaty, clammy, gross, and then just takes all of that with him into the office.
I just don't find the need to have a change of clothes because I'm starting to ask really critical questions about germ theory. I don't know if that's going to come next. I've predicted that before. I think on this show, I stand by it. I'm not even being hyperbolic. 2 years, you will be shamed for washing your hands in the United States. 2 years. We're
Dude,
2 years
half
away.
of his
2 years
half the
away.
COVID deniers don't believe in germ theory anymore.
It's insane.
It's really there. We're there.
Thank you, Josh. Josh, episode 8. I sent episode 8. I'm sorry, Pat.
No, go ahead.
I sent episode 8 to my wife. I thought it was important for her to hear it. Sorry, I'm mentioning.
What's episode 8?
You were on it. I don't know. That's sad that you
Josh's
need
podcast.
to ask that. I'm disappointed in you.
I
Fuck
don't know
up.
what you're talking about. I was on episode 8. It was a very raw episode of a lot of
It was great.
we aired a
not
lot
to
of dirty laundry.
Well, now I have to watch episode 8.
You gotta check out episode 8, dude. It's so we should.
All right.
And yeah. Darren and Josh make a movie. Wonderful show. Lila is on episode 8, and it's a very, especially LA, and loved it.
It's rough, but thank you for watching it. Thank you, Justin. Are we sure the brain worm died? Cheers to you for the super chat.
Oh, who's running the show?
No idea.
The brain worm's in charge. It's like Ratatouille. If only it was a mouse, he would just make good food, but it's a fucking brain worm. So it's feeding him eugenics instead.
The whole shift on the child scheduling of vaccinations, the vaccination rates for our kids has gone way down. And, I know everybody here, I'm sure, understands that, but like, there is such a thing as herd protection. Not everybody is either old enough to get vaccinations, or some people are immunocompromised and can't get certain vaccinations, but you need a critical mass to be vaccinated against some of these, smallpox, mumps, measles, diphtheria, polio. Like, those are things that we need herd protection for. It's not just like a one-off that if you get your vaccine, you're fine. So he is damaging. It's not an individual choice. I mean, that, that was a Biden thing. Like, it's not you do you, but vax and relax. No, we are all supposed to be part of a community.
But he turned the whole world against mRNA technology, which was on the verge of curing a lot of cancers. Like, we're unfunding the tech that can get us out of some of these terrible diseases. And we're just pulling all the funding. Like, you know, and if your school is doing research on mRNA vaccines, well, you know, we're going to find some anti-Semites at your school and find a reason to drop all science and education. I'm just so over it. If somebody asked me who I would rather see get Happy Day,
Luigi,
I might pick him first. Honestly, I don't know. It's a toss up for me. So I'm
between him and Trump. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I didn't say it.
I don't know. Why not both?
True. But
yeah, we showed the video of him.
We mean sitting on a pie, by the way, if anyone's curious.
That's hilariously sitting on a pie.
Hilariously sitting on a pie is what we mean.
Bleeding to death.
Big tech overlords.
All right. No, did I say
sitting on
that?
a pie.
All right.
We're the screen's gonna go black. All right, we love your rant. Go check out if you are able to. And everybody should be able to. Left It Wall.
If you want to find out all the places you can see it, you can go to my website, ronplacone.com. Lila and Pat have an amazing cameo in it. It's on, it's on Apple. It's on YouTube Movies. It's on Amazon.
Tubi.
It's on Tubi. If you want to watch it free with ads, you can watch it on Tubi. So, you know, come on. You know, Left It Wall, check it out. And I don't know if any of y'all are in Gainesville, but I'm going to be on Fest this year. So if you're planning on going to Fest, I'll be at the Comedy Stage. Come hang out. That's
awesome. When is that?
That's in October. So yeah, it's all, I actually haven't like officially announced it yet, but I will be on the Comedy Stage at Fest because I've always wanted to do Fest. And I don't know if I'm going to be willing to go to Florida anytime soon. So I thought if you're going to do it, you should probably do it this year and do it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be at Fest this year. And then
Mask up.
Yeah. Well, I think, some of it's outdoors. I don't think the comedy stages. So yeah. But that's going to be happening. And I'm not touring a lot outside of that at the moment, but I'll probably be touring a lot more in 2026. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Let us know. Come on anytime. We love you.
All right, cool. Thanks,
Take care.
Peace.
Bye.
Cheers, man.
That was a great rant. We need more rants against every member of this administration, but
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Should we spin the wheel, find a moment of joy before we
should. I need to grab a beer, so let's wheel it up while I grab a beer.
I can't spin it though. So you have to do the spinning.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that. I like that background there.
It's just a mystery background.
All right, inject that shit. What's it gonna be?
I got us.
All right. I'm not touching.
All right, here's some trolling of DC cops. This is how it's done.
That's card. Look at all these fucking Nazis over here. They got their fucking faces covered like a bunch of goddamn pussies. Look at this shit. You gotta know, you're performing a federal function. People deserve to know who's arresting them. Is it because you want to disappear people that you don't like immigrants? Guess what they did in 1939 to my people? It's killed 6 million of them by people who look just like you. Look at this shit. They locked my people up too, killed 6 million of them, look just like this. Just like this. This is how it starts. They're walking around in unmarked vehicles, grabbing people off the street. And your colleagues just said they love the fucking Proud Boys. They said they love the Proud Boys. They got it all on video. Your colleagues, do you agree with them? Do you want to kill Jews too? Do you want to disappear people of color? Get them off the street? It's all over the place. Guess what? Guess what? You're going to see us in the streets every fucking day. You're going to be so fucking tired of us. We're not going anywhere, you little bitch. This other one over here, he looks just like the Nazis in Germany. Looks just like the neo-Nazis. Look at this. We got ICE over here. You should be fucking ashamed to be doing the job that you're doing. If you think any of you guys are safe, you're wrong. Look at these little Nazi-ass bitches. This is ICE right here. They're rounding up random people who are just trying to make a living. They did the same thing to my people. They did the same thing to my people. In the 1930s, they're pulling people into unmarked cars. That's right. That's right. Get in your little Nazi-ass car. Look at all these fucking...
That's awesome. I love that. And I love making that comparison, especially when it's coming from somebody who's Jewish. I think that, stings a little harder. But anybody who can get out there and do it, there are a million other ways that these people are like the worst, colonizers and thugs in humanity. So love that that guy had the courage to do that, because, you know, I do always think they could just turn around and shoot you. Like, they don't care. They get off when they do it. So
Well, it's coming. And look, when there is going to be the first instance of violence, Trump will pardon the guy.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
it'll be just like,
you gotta
hopefully he
respect
breaks
the
the
law.
state law, but
Yeah.
federal law, he's going to get pardoned.
Yeah. Well, I love that. Yeah. I mean, every day, you know, even though ICE was supposed to have left, every day we're seeing, you know, kids showing up to school, watching their parents be hauled off, or their parents are picking them up from school. Like, you know, there was a big statement that the Los Angeles Unified School District was going to prevent any of that, but they need help. And when the cops and your mayor and your governor are all in bed with basically with ICE and law enforcement, then you don't get a lot of backup, you know?
And this is where Newsom, as governor in California, has the power to create an actual fight against this fascism. So not doing it is just, it's just, it makes no sense strategically. Even like he should for his future political ambition.
Well, where is he going to get his donor money
to
from?
Fight a little more.
Because here's the truth. Private prisons make a ton of money on the people that they round up. We know that Biden gave more money to private prisons than, you know, anybody before him. You know, it just keeps rising. So there's that whole, you know, group of people that you have to please. There's so many factions that make money off of having a hyped up cop or law enforcement presence that, you know, he's weighing which way is his bread buttered. And he's going to have to decide. I mean, I don't care. I would never vote for him, but like what's more profitable for him, to fight against all of that and his donors and become president, maybe, or to kind of do the bidding of those people and try to win some meme war, dark woke meme war.
I think the real problem, if all these people that are seeing him as some sort of like anti-Trump solution, okay, well, Trump's not going to be running in 2028. So all this, you're again doing the stupid thing of targeting everything about the Republicans as Trump.
Right.
Well, so when they run the next guy post Trump, you haven't even attacked the ideology. You're just dunking on Trump. Like
but I mean, because then they'll just say, well, what's his name? You know, JD Vance is just Trump Jr. Like, because they will never engage with the actual policies or the ideology, because there's not a lot separating them. So it's not a fight he wants to get into. He doesn't want to talk about actual policy. And as we saw, we just went through 20 different bills that he vetoed that were pro working class, pro labor bills that he vetoed. So the last thing he really wants to do is get into a discussion of issues.
Yeah, of course. But, you know, if this is how you know he's not actually progressive at all, which we clearly have, he's proven that over the years, but like in the midst of all the fervor for Zoran, like in the uber liberal lefty California, if he can't be a little more left, like he's got permission politically to win that way, but he doesn't from his donors. But the people would support him being super, super, super fucking left here in California.
But
like,
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is like, it's not about what the people want ever. Like, it just isn't. We see that whole, you know, fighting the oligarchy tour. And as sort of toothless as that is, you had, in the wake of handing the reins of power over to Trump twice in 8 years, you know, the consultant class and Democratic pundits on MSNBC and CNN and in the pages of The Atlantic and the New York Times and all that garbage talking about what should Dems do, that we have to find the soul of the Democratic Party again. Well, no, you're seeing tens of thousands of people show up for an 83-year-old fight the oligarchy tour. We know what the people want. Name the villain. It's rich fucks who take away every single part of our lives that could give us some dignity, our healthcare, our housing, our wages. We're constantly in war. They're polluting our environment. They're trying to replace us with AI. Like, they're villains. We know who they are. Name them, but they won't do that.
Yeah.
That's who they're paid by.
Well, I mean, so many of them, Newsom included, are literally the oligarchy. So like Newsom can't show up at a Bernie rally.
Fight the oligarchy.
He can't speak at a fight the oligarchy. Like he got elevated through fucking a real estate billionaire.
Yep.
You know, that who sponsored his whole fucking career. So, you know, he is the oligarchy. He was married to the somebody who's married to a Trumper now. You know, like
foil. And isn't he like the nephew of Nancy Pelosi or married into her family? Like, they are all one big party. Before we move,
and nobody shows that more than him though. Like Ron called it, like he's the poster boy of everything wrong with the Democratic Party. He's the worst person to run in this moment, and they're still pushing him the hardest.
I mean, the memes are like vomit inducing online. It truly, I know we're moving on, but I just thought this was so interesting. Leaked to Playbook is the list of words which have been blacklisted by Third Way that Democrats should not use. Violence, as in environmental violence, privilege, dialoguing, fine, triggering, othering, microaggression, holding space, body shaming, subverting norms, systems of oppression, cultural appropriation, Overton window, existential threat to climate, democracy, economy, radical transparency, stakeholders, the unhoused, food insecurity, housing insecurity, person who immigrated, birthing person, cisgender, dead naming, heteronormative, patriarchy, LGBTQIA+, BIPOC, allyship, incarcerated people, involuntary confinement. What the fuck are you going to talk about? Your Nobel Peace Prize. That's what you can talk about.
Well, look, disregarding the whole, you should talk about what's right. Like, you shouldn't have talking points about, you know, if it's right, you should talk about it. You should change the narrative about these issues that are right. It's like saying, well, hey, you know, the Civil War, you know, we barely won the Civil War. Let's not talk about rights for Black people, you know, like,
right. It's not popular. It doesn't poll well.
Yeah. Just don't go there too much right now, because we want to win those guys over. So, but that's part of it. But the other half of it is just shit that clearly people support. Like these aren't marginalized groups even, like, you know, that you're disregarding politically out of just your evil fucking nature.
Yeah.
This is like what the people support. And for Third Way to put that out, it just shows you their corporate bullshit.
Like, you know, how in the New York Times and Biden saying, don't talk about a ceasefire. Don't talk about Palestinians. You can talk about people in Gaza. You can't talk about Palestinians because they want to deny that Palestine ever existed. I mean, it's just the depths that these people go to maintain their privileged little lives.
Assholes. I think we should spin the wheel and then we'll jump back into it, because we barely got a wheel.
I know. You're right. All right, spin it. I'm getting rid of the Jerusalem Dems.
Forcing this on us.
Okay.
Oh, drink or smoke.
Perfect.
Always a crowd pleaser.
Always a crowd. This is my third glass because
being me and Lila.
I've been
oh, let's do it again. We're
calling audibles. All right, twist my arm.
Wow. This one's swanky vibe.
All right, we got another inject that shit.
I guess we do.
You got you're gonna find
okay.
it?
All right, this one's super short, so that'll get us into Palestine. Is that where we're headed next?
Yeah.
I think we are. Soccer game already.
I love it. It's disgusting that the world's football federation is allowing Israel to play when they ejected Russia like 3 days into Russia's invasion, and somehow Israel is still allowed to play. I did see, God, was it a Spanish team or an Italian team turned their back on the Israeli team.
Right.
Small moments that are, I mean, all of that I do think is important, but it's sort of not enough.
What's going to be interesting is the Olympics. I mean,
in LA.
Yeah, the LA Olympics. That's going to be
That's going to be, first of all, it shouldn't be happening here. We need that money for so many other things. Second, I mean, honestly, anybody foreign born who comes to the US is taking a real gamble. Like, I would not be coming here. This is not, do not come. I mean, this is not, maybe obviously maybe players, but like anybody in the periphery of that, I would be very nervous to come to this country right now. But then, yes, absolutely appalling that Israel is still permitted.
I think it's going to be terrible for LA. I mean, you know this probably more than I do, but I think it's going to be the most the economic impact of what LA has to go to build this up for them. It's not going to, they're not going to get this money back because it's going to be the worst attended Olympics in history, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And we need that money for other things. They're going to, do so many more homeless sweeps and not do anything to rectify the situation. And all that money is just going to go to building things, cleaning up a small segment of our town, and more cop presence. That's where it's going to go.
Yeah. But the world hates us so much right now.
Yeah.
So if you think they're going to come for the Olympics to LA and donate, it's
Help
just
keep our
not happening.
Yeah.
It's going to be
tourism alive. Okay. So a couple different things this week, which, it always just feels like really now we're talking about this 2 years into a genocide, where we've all been like, anybody following this has been aware, but Plus 972 magazine just hacked into an Israeli army database showing that at least 83% of the Gaza dead were civilians. Classified intelligence from May reveals Israel believed it had killed 8,900 militants in Gaza, indicating a proportion of civilian slaughter with few parallels in modern warfare. Just to show, what that looks like on a pie chart. One of the soldiers who spoke, on background and anonymity. Okay, so they revealed a case in which a battalion stationed in Rafah killed around 100 Palestinians and recorded them all as terrorists. Yet an officer in the battalion testified that in all but 2 cases, the victims had been unarmed. And then another intelligence source says people are promoted to the rank of terrorists after their death. If I had listened to the brigade, I would have come to the conclusion that we had killed 200% of Hamas operatives in the area. So, we obviously, when they flatten whole apartment buildings and hospitals and whole villages, we know that they're not targeting one Hamas fighter. And the civilian.
There's just no way 83%. That's their own internal leaked number, but that's even massively
well, because also it's
underreported.
going off of 58,000 people being killed, and we know that it's in the hundreds of thousands. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a much larger percentage of civilians.
And if you plotted on a graph, the longer the war escalated and went on, the more it was just civilians, because initially they did target as much as they could, whatever. I mean, they were going after they were trying to justify the war, so they were killing actually troopers. But like, we're so past there are no there's not even there aren't even like 100 hostages left. Like, you know,
I mean, the funny thing is that one thing that people keep being reminded of is that Hamas says that their numbers are only growing because people keep joining, people keep wanting to fight if they can for their liberation. Of course, as this, famine sets in and spreads, more and more, but the claim from all sides is that the numbers of Hamas fighters keeps growing because they're not giving up. They will never give up. This is their land. They are fighting for their liberation. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying because the level of like the structure, the infrastructure, the people who are in command who were known before, many of them have been killed. But
there's really just honestly nothing. There's no warring enemy left for the most part, is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
You just can't look at what is left of Gaza and Palestine and think that there's an actual warring resistance. There's resistance,
right?
Like, you come to my town and you're going to kill people. I'm going to grab a gun and throw rocks at you and do whatever I can to stop you. But like, there's no, like, Hamas isn't gathering people together and like giving them rocket launchers. Like that doesn't even probably happen anymore. Like,
I mean, you're totally correct. Although it is interesting to me that there keep being like moments of sabotage where like 7 IDF soldiers were lured somewhere and blown up. But you're right. It's for like individual. Yes. But it's, anyway, it was never a war. It was always like a militant group fighting for the liberation of their land from an occupying militia supported by the most powerful country in the world, right? So that's not a war. But I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I do, like, it does give me hope when I hear from all sides, like, this will never die. You will never, ever get rid of, whether you call it Hamas or the resistance or a liberation movement, whatever it is, people are always going to fight for their liberation. I thought this was,
but that's
different. I understand. I'm not like, we're not.
No, I'm not disagreeing either, like, at all. It's just that if anything like that ever happened to me here, like most people, I would join whatever the resistance fucking is.
Yep.
Like that's what I'm doing. We're going to join the resistance because would you look around at my fucking country?
Yep.
I'm going to, 99% of my family is dead. Like, that's what we're looking at with these people. So yeah, join Hamas.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
And we certainly, the same people who call Hamas terrorists were praising anybody throwing a Molotov cocktail who was Ukrainian, right? Like, they understand the idea of fighting for liberation only if it's a group of people that's been sanctified as like the good fighters, right? Then it's okay. But throwing a rock at a tank, a 4-year-old boy, he deserves to get mowed down because the IDF soldier was scared for his life. I thought this was a really good answer. This is actually from last year, but about if we give in now or give any land or come to a peace deal, aren't we justifying terrorism? So this is Maher Mugabe answering this question.
I suppose the question is, Hamas, in some ways, through all of this discussion we're having, is being rewarded, is it not, for changing the discourse?
In what way is it being rewarded?
That's the argument, that they are getting they are getting their issues debated like
But they're
never
not their
before.
issues. They don't belong to Hamas. They belong to the whole Palestinian people. The Hamas are the ones who are willing to fight and willing to attack to make their point. But what I would say is, and this is, I mean this most sincerely, I hear people here say, all lives matter, and I hear people say that they cringe and they recoil when they see the violence of the Israeli state in Gaza. But I have to say, I don't hear anybody who's willing to stand up and fight for the Palestinians. I don't hear anybody who's willing to put their political or their economic credentials on the line to save Palestinian lives. If you leave a vacuum where you're not fighting for the Palestinians, yes, Hamas are going to fill that vacuum every single day of the week.
Oops. Strike. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the other big not reveal, but assessment that happened this week. Again, since October 8th, we knew that this was part of Israel's strategy, but a confirmation of famine in Gaza. Famine has now been confirmed in Gaza. Over 500,000 people are facing the most devastating form of hunger, warns the IPC. An immediate ceasefire and unhindered humanitarian access is imperative to save lives. They show how the prevalence of acute malnutrition to children under 5 has surpassed the threshold for famine, which is 15% of a population. And of course, right away, Israel comes in to deny and say that there were different thresholds for Israel than there have been for any other nation. In other countries, the IPC declares famine at 30% malnutrition. In Gaza, the UN-backed IPC lowered the bar to 15%, and it is based on unreliable data. They didn't find famine, so they forged one, which, and then we'll explain what the difference is. But there's 2 different ways. There is muscle compared to height, weight compared to height, and then there's the mid-upper arm calculation. And with mid-upper arm calculation, 15% is the threshold in a population where you cannot get what everybody's height and weight is. So, and then that, if you can get that measurement, that's a 30% bar. But this is the same that the IPC uses whenever they are judging famine. It's explained here by the World Food Program, just because I am seeing a lot of this. I rarely go onto Facebook because we lost all of our friends basically after 2016 and 2020 because they didn't like my support and the way I supported Bernie. I agree with everything you're saying, just not the way you say it and all that bullshit. But in the last, 2 years, the silence of people who would write these things in 2016 when Trump became president, if you voted for Trump, you can just unfriend me now. And there is nothing about a fucking genocide. Nothing. They say nothing. And now I see them posting things like this bullshit from Israel where they say, oh, it's different, we're left to different standards, that Israel has different standards of famine than other places. And then also things like this from Israel. Oh, but there's shawarma and seafood. There are some people who are eating. So there's food, no famine. You see these sort of like Holocaust denier tactics, which is disgusting. So this is from the World Food Program.
When you hear the word famine, you probably think of the worst hunger imaginable. But famine isn't just a word, it's a technical term. It's the very last stage on the hunger scale. And by the time it's declared, people are already dying of starvation. Famine conditions are man-made. They're driven by conflict, restricted access, and the breakdown of essential services. Famine is declared when 3 conditions happen at the same time. When at least 20% of the population has extreme food shortages, when a significant proportion of children are acutely malnourished, that is 15% if measured by NEWAC tape, and 30% if measured by weight for height, and at least 2 out of every 10,000 people are dying every day from hunger or hunger-related disease. Famine is never declared by one organization alone. It's the result of a joint, data-driven analysis using agreed global standards from the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC. This process brings together multiple humanitarian agencies like the World Food Program and is confirmed by independent experts. This ensures famine declarations are based on independent, science-backed evidence. The IPC scale measures hunger from phase 1, where food security is ensured, to phase 5, catastrophe or famine. This enables us to raise the alarm before hunger takes lives and to act while there's still time. At WFP, our mission is to prevent famine altogether. We monitor hunger hotspots daily and act when people are in crisis long before famine takes hold. In Gaza, the latest assessment shows that famine is confirmed in one area and projected to spread. In Sudan, a protracted famine is taking hold, only one at this scale anywhere in the world. In both crises, thousands of lives are on the line, especially young children and women. Safe, sustained humanitarian access is critical to prevent further catastrophe in both crises. Increased humanitarian access is urgently needed to turn the tide of famine. Famine is preventable every single time. We have the data, we have the tools. What we need is the action and the resources to ensure no one is left to starve.
Yeah, none of this would or could happen without the US, 100%. And yeah, that is a Nazi tactic. They would show, one sort of not emaciated little girl and say, see, they're healthy, it's all fine. The whole Potemkin village idea. And it's Nazi, it's Holocaust denialism. Yeah.
And well, but we're so clearly to blame for this. I mean, the UN has got us at level 5. We're there. There's no higher alarm to ring than level 5. We're there. And who is stopping the UN from declaring this to be a genocide and declaring the international community has to step in? Us.
Yep.
Literally, America are the singular country stopping aid from getting in to help these people. Not only are we stopping it, we diverted the real aid support system that existed and put in our own aid support to kill them faster and harder.
Yep. 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 Because UNRWA was able to prevent this from happening. And in addition to, defunding UNRWA, we also let Israel, kill UN workers, kill World Central Kitchen workers. And then you see Jose Andres still go meet with Netanyahu. I mean, none of these people, the lack of soul, the lack of integrity, empathy, heart. I don't know the words anymore. I don't know how people in power can allow this to happen. So that's famine. So this reporter has been really getting a lot of recognition recently, and he's great. Was it Jasper Nathaniel? I think Jasper Nathaniel. Yeah. Really big story breaking in Israel. Soldiers at a base got hot and then diarrhea from the bad food. So they called their moms, who complained, organized a parents' commanders meeting, and took their children, quotation children, their words, not mine, home for a long weekend. Still dealing with planned outages. A parent of a female soldier in observer training said the commander did not respond, and that when children are in the army for 2 weeks and experience problems, they're confused and stressed. It's like babies in a car. Every summer we talk about how you can't leave babies in a closed car. Here, soldiers are sitting in an armored vehicle. Please send an emergency AC unit if you can. They're begging for AC relief. These are the people who are posting their genocidal endeavors gleefully to their Telegram channels and Instagram and social media, and they're a little warm. They would like some help. And because they are despised worldwide, Israel is now hiring paid influencers to go to Gaza and show how there's really no famine and we're treating people well. And it's only, a few people who are complaining, and they're all militants and they're all Hamas. that they have to pay people to come do that. There's also, and I mean, and they can't get, those IDF soldiers can't escape the horrors of the Gaza war when they're vacationing, both because of what they've done, and the rates of death by suicide among IDF soldiers is skyrocketing, but also because the whole world despises them because they are genocidal maniacs. And then there was just this report with Matt Miller being interviewed on an Israeli talk show, about how they were close to peace deals several times, but basically Netanyahu didn't want one. So they had to back off. Bibi sabotaged it.
And Miller, who was out there parroting every talking point Israel ever put out to deny a genocide, he's out there now trying to rebuild his character somehow. But he's saying the truth now, which is that they knew that Netanyahu wanted a forever war there.
Right. And they wanted to say something, but they didn't want Hamas to pull away, Yahya Sinwar to pull away. And if they ever said something publicly that Netanyahu and his Likud crew were threatening or sabotaging peace deals, that would also, give legitimacy to Hamas, because Hamas has agreed to every ceasefire deal until then Israel comes back with, points that of course Hamas isn't going to accept, like, lie down and die. But they, I think October 9th or 10th, offered to release all the hostages.
Yeah. Israel's broken every deal.
2023.
And they operate in such bad faith that it's amazing they ever get deals on the board. But, Palestinians are so under the boot of Israel that they agree to ceasefire deals, and Israel breaks them every single fucking time.
Every time.
Because there's no accountability. When you have the U.S. at the UN Council allowing genocide to happen, why would they feel like they have to obey any law whatsoever? And they don't, and they act with impunity.
All right. What else? What do you want to show? Anything? I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, it's just, where do we go?
I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is, like, none of this is a shock. So it comes, finally the U.S. media outlets report on things that Smotrich and Yoav Galan and Netanyahu and all of these monsters have been saying publicly since day one. Like, there's never been any equivocation, any, muddying the waters. They've been really clear they want to do a genocide.
Yeah, and if you wanted to do a journalism, if you were the New Yorker or the New York Post or fucking MSNBC, CNN, you just have to report on what's clearly out there and has been out there from day fucking one on this thing.
Yep.
You don't have to do some investigative research. You need a kid with like 2 or 3 hours on Google.
I mean, the corporate media has been put to such shame, and I really hope they are all tried and sent to The Hague also, but of course they won't be. There's never any consequence for the dereliction of duty, the complicity in a genocide. I mean, the Tom Fletcher of UN Relief, after this report came out, it's a much longer clip, but we have a shorter clip here of him talking to the world stage about how we've allowed this to happen and how despicable it is.
It is a famine on all of our watch. Everyone owns this. The Gaza famine is the world's famine. It is a famine that asks, but what did you do? A famine that will and must haunt us all. Please read the IPC report. cover to cover. Read it in sorrow and in anger, not as words and numbers, but as names and lives. Be in no doubt that this is irrefutable testimony. It is a famine, the Gaza famine. It is a famine that we could have prevented if we had been allowed. Yet food stacks up at borders because of systematic obstruction by Israel. It is a famine within a few hundred meters of food in a fertile land. It is a famine in 2025, a 21st century famine, watched over by drones and the most advanced military technology in history. It is a famine that must spur the world to more urgent action, that must shame the world to do better. It is a famine that therefore also asks, and what now will you do?
Thank you very much, U.S. Chief Lecturer, for.
So, what will they do?
I wish there was some
country that was supplying
some
the arms,
positive outlook, but we're not. We haven't done shit.
Yeah,
we're not changing this dynamic at all right now.
And for so many of these people, they are in such late stages. It's just much too late, in addition to all the people who are just under the rubble. I don't know. It's just such a blight on humanity. We should never be forgiven. None of these people should ever be forgiven. And that's why all this stuff with I am sorry to go back to it because who cares on some level, but with Gavin Newsom, you're the leader of the fourth largest economy in the world. I've not heard him speak once about Israel or Palestine or Gaza or the West Bank or genocide or famine, any of it, except that he went right away to go visit Israel right after October 7th. I don't know if he was visiting the West Bank on October 6th because it was already listed as the most deadly year for being killed by Israeli soldiers in the West Bank, where there's just the, puppet government of the Palestinian Authority. And that's what he's doing, Nobel Peace Prize and ridiculous memes. And, so today there was, last night, Doron Mamdani put out a video about how there was going to be a scavenger hunt today and to show up today. And, there was something really beautiful about it. And I'm sorry to be a Zoran stan. I am sure that he's going to disappoint us. I know. But the idea of getting hordes of people out, the video of thousands of people showing up at the first metro stop or whatever it was, public transit stop for this scavenger hunt where you're going to get clues and then you're going to go to the next public transit stop, wherever it is, of bringing together community, making people enjoy their city, making people face each other and come out into these third spaces where it's not home or work, where we're not separated. That is really an important dynamic to develop as the leader of a city, the leader of a state, the leader of a nation, because when people feel that sense of community and camaraderie, they are much less likely to turn on each other, to hate each other, to support slaughtering each other. And obviously the material aspects have got to come into that as well. People need to be able to live in safe spaces and be able to feed themselves and go to doctors and make a dignified wage and all of that, which he talks about also. But as sort of silly and trifling as it might seem to have a town scavenger hunt, there was something really basic and beautiful about that to me that I really appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. On the surface, it felt a little corny at first, but I do get the connection that's forming. So the important thing with Zoran is that all these people that brought him, that helped him rise up in this moment, like we stay together, these New Yorkers stay together despite him, no matter what he does. So like meet all these people, get to know them, say if he fucks us over, fuck him. We're going to do this shit anyway, so that's where our power is. And, I always say this, but like with Zoran, even if he sells us out, like, okay, here's the test. We got our people that brought him to power. He's going to win. So what happens with that power is sort of an example of what could have happened with Bernie.
Yep.
On a smaller scale, but still New York is also, they're not fourth like California, but they're a huge, they're up there on the list of economies in the world.
Yep.
So, and they have incredible power over the Democratic Party if they use it, just like California could change the Democratic Party if we had one fucking good Democratic governor.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
and I mean, yes, Bernie disbanded his whole grassroots coalition when he didn't win in 2016 and 2020. AOC, I don't even know what she's doing. And the biggest example of that was Barack Obama. I mean, he was such a, charlatan, but the second he got into power, he puts in his cabinet exactly who Citibank tells him to and disbands Obama for America, which was his grassroots coalition that could have been his inside-outside strategy. And that was incredibly instructive. That was the first thing he did. Like, bye, I don't need any of y'all anymore. And so, yeah, I think, I mean, it made me hopeful because yes, I'm like, nobody should have any joy. We should all just be sad all the time. The world sucks. But that's a defeatist attitude also, right? So like, I think that, I don't know, that gave me a lot of hope for him, actually.
Yeah. And but you're right. It's not incredulous to think that he could win, which he's going to win, which if you asked me a year ago, I would say, no, a guy like him couldn't win, but so he could win. He's about to win. He's got the people behind him. So there's enough political capital built up by people, regular people, for the first time in one of the most influential, powerful states in the whole fucking world.
Yep.
So, we could see good policy succeed. And the idea that could happen is almost unthinkable in the political system we're in right now. So yeah, like let's, I'm not saying don't be delusional about what's going to happen, but like we could have a good example of things working,
which is exactly why they're fighting him so hard.
That.
Yeah.
Which is, but the Democratic Party's being so clearly fighting this guy that is so clearly loved and is so clearly where the Democratic Party supporters want the party to go, is turning off people. So like, I'm not saying they're going to switch. They're going to fake switch. They're going to fake sort of like, well, now we sort of embrace him. They're going to find some new strategy, but nobody bought abundance. That failed. So like mostly they don't care about winning. So they're probably not going to change, but we're going to see it. We're going to see a clear dude. Everybody support him. People like these policies. Who's fighting the hardest? If the Democrats keep fighting him as hard as they are, their stock is going to keep plummeting.
Yep. I hope so. And now we just, then they'll just engage in lawfare and, what they're doing with Omar Fatah. And I don't know that his ground game is as strong as Zoran's is, right? So, but we'll hope like Abdul Al-Said and who knows with the guy up in Maine whose name I keep forgetting, and I already deleted that video, so I can't tell you. Isn't that terrible? oh my God, but the real guy, the oyster farmer,
Fisher guy, the
oyster man. Yeah, I mean, that keeping your grassroots, keeping your left flank, your base of support engaged and involved, it's awesome. So I really hope that he continues with that and makes all of us his excuse for why he has to fight against the billionaires. Listen, I so wish, Jamie Dimon, I so wish I could do that for you, but we'll all get guillotined out there on Park Avenue if we do it. I gotta listen to my guy. Like, we are his excuse. Be his excuse.
Yep.
So
amen.
That's the hope. All right. Anything else to say? I mean, there's so much.
Fuck the police. What do we got?
Every day and twice on Sunday. Every day and twice on Sunday. Just
get it
reminder.
if you're a white person, get in the face of all these ICE bitches.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Trump. No president has ever been more unpopular at this point in the presidency than Donald Trump. So it's yours for the taking. Somebody on the left who has those real policies that everybody in this country wants and needs, except for the donor class. Get out there and get it. Get it.
Yeah, a leftist. If you run on being actually progressive, it's the easiest election ever to win. Like, just reject your donors, run on the people's platform. Graham Plattner is the.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Holly, were you joking? That's the bad one, Jordan Wood. We want the Graham Plattner. Yeah. Okay. All right. Big thank you to Ron Placone for coming on, for sharing his humor, and for his tirade against RFK Jr. and the abundance guys and the argument and all of those lib fascist supporters. We loved having you on. Do check out his movie Left at Wall, his podcast 1000 with Ron Placone. And anything else, Pat? Anything else?
No. Let's go.
Okay, so just a quick
Ron, I love you, Ron. And watch his movie, check it out. Lila said that already. I wasn't listening. That's how this works.
That's how we roll. That's why Pat still likes me, is because he doesn't listen to anything I say.
Never.
Okay, this was inspired by Carsey Blanton, and somebody on Blue Sky wrote us today or yesterday and said that the person said they hoped that we put Carsey Blanton on her song, but we had actually already shown that in July. And this man is taking his inspiration from Carsey Blanton. So cheers to him. Cheers to all of you guys. We love you guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Keep punching it.
Sure. Cheers.
Little cover that I was inspired by Carsey Blanton, a radical singer-songwriter from the States. And since everyone seems to be getting banned from saying political things on stage, we thought we'd stay in the tradition of singing them instead. All right. So I think you all might know this one. Feel free to sing along. Free Palestine. Ba, ba, ba. Genocide is never good. No good. No good. No good. Free Palestine. Ba, ba, ba. We can end this and we should. We should. We should. We should. Free Palestine. Ba, ba, ba. Netanyahu, eat my dick. Yeah, free Palestine. Ba, ba, ba. Genocide makes us all sing. Sing, sing, sing. Free Palestine. Ba, ba, ba. Genocide is never good.